Yay. Yay. I'm awake. I'm awake way too early, I think. Not way too early. I got to do some stuff today. I didn't have time to hook up the washer and dryer that we got. And so I got to do that instead of having fun today. I want to have fun. Hmm. I don't want. Just go right here so I can hear this. There we go. Oh, yeah. I don't want work today. I want to have fun. I don't want to work today. I want to have fun. Just everything. It's my ears. My ears. My ears. My ears. Oh, my goodness. Mm. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Looking at one of my comments here. Stop that. Stop it. Let's see. Throw this up here. Doodly do. Share the screen. And share screen to allow. So this is the guitar I got in my hand right now. And uh, so I need a back cover plate for this guitar right here. And I also need a top truss rod cover. And as you can see, I work in like computers and stuff. So I was like, what could I use to make the covers for this? And I can order them in, but the way, you know, Amazon works is no matter what you order, it's usually like $10. But they're like, okay, uh, you get like you want a pick card, you want a pick guard, okay, because it's $10. You know, we need to send you 5, and I don't need 5. Anyhow, you can see right here. Where's that? I put a piece of motherboard over the pick guard right here. You can see it right now, like right there. So I don't, so dust isn't getting in. It's kind of like a dust cover to make sure that stuff don't get down into the truss rod cover. And the reason why I'm even looking at this morning is because I had a question on it. And right here, you can see where I just cut into the motherboard. Matter of fact, the SATA ports for the I didn't even give a damn. I just like whacked into the board, uh, the motherboard, and right here is the SATA ports. Hey, I know my house. Uh, yeah, it's a mother cover, and this is the South Bridge, which like on a motherboard on your computer or even in your phone or anywhere else, it's what takes the data from your that's incoming and outgoing from your hard drives in and out of the device, whatever it is. But this is the South Bridge. Down here would be like I think it's a COM port and stuff. So what I did, and this is way too much work to go through to do this, and it wasn't something I meant to do. And if I could go back and do it again, I probably wouldn't. Right here, this VIA chipset is probably the onboard sound, but I did this with the angle grinder. This is probably not what you want to do this with. Uh, but I took an angle grinder and cut this motherboard out and then got it close to where I wanted it. And then I used a file to get it down to the rest of the way it needed to be. Let's see. And that's on the back of this thing here. Let's see if we can get a look at it. Okay. Okay. And like I said, Pookie, that was way too much work to go through on this thing. Way too much work. And so I went over here and Ryan Ryan Hall had asked, um, he'd wanted to make a pick guard out of one. Hey, Jaden. Hey, non mouse. Hey, Pokey. And I don't know if you can see, but if Ryan, if you watch this later, um, not really what you want to do, but I actually took the angle grinder and ground down the. Let's see. I'm gonna go see if I could just save this image as. Uh, why are you doing? Why are you doing that? Oh my goodness. Anyways, so I took the angle grinder and ground everything down so it would be flat as it could be. Now the other side of the motherboard didn't have anything on it except for the little standoffs from the solder joints. And I kind of put that on sandpaper and rubbed it and it went away. So there, that happened. Um, and this Jackson here, I got it was a Japanese Jackson from like the 80s, and I had to buy the neck. I got the neck and everything for it. It was so how I get these guitars cheap sometimes is they're just pieces, and I go and uh, there's the Friday party. They're just pieces, and I go and put them together. And so this is one that I got, and it was nothing but a body sitting in a garage, a body and a neck, and I put the pickups in last week. Uh, got the pickups off of Amazon, got the knobs off of Amazon. They're like red and black and stuff, and yeah. Let's see. I'm wearing pants today. Hey, I'm wearing pants today. And it's weird pants for me to be wearing. You want to see my weird pants? You want to see my weird pants? Look at that. It's look like I'm running and stuff. I'm going fast. I'm going fast. I'm like doing stuff. And and it's kind of weird to be wearing like uh Adidas jogging pants when you're just like an old pole vault dude. But yeah, I thought it would be nice to wear pants on stream today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And here, uh, oh wow, uh, don't know if I can read all this. Uh, don't get in my way, cords. Get in my way, you're getting run over. That's what I say when I'm driving. Yeah, just like a jock and stuff. Look at me. I'm like the bionic man and stuff. And the thing is this Jackson's so slippery that with these pants, I'm not used to it because when you wear blue jeans and you sit down and play guitar, um, the guitar kind of sticks to your leg a little bit. But when you're playing like a real slicky Jackson with a curve in it like this, it slides all over your leg. And anyways, there you go. Isn't that great? And I don't know if I can pull this off on with this guitar sliding around on my leg. I'm gonna try. It's not gonna do it. I'll get a different guitar. Get a different guitar. Hey, take that and that. With it. Ugh. Stop it. Now, since this one just had strings put on it and been sitting on the shelf or on the rack, there's a good chance this one might not be even close to a tune. Yeah, that one's a little brighter, huh? Come on down. Come on down, just a tear. Here we go. It's gonna be okay. Set. But that's not right. Okay, maybe it is. See how many things I could do all at once. Hey, Edward! Let's see. I'm going to try to tackle this Black Sabbath song. I sent it out to Pookie and Camellia the other day. I tried to tackle this like all messed up and stuff and didn't do so well. So I'm going to do it again. Some people say that my love cannot be true. Please believe me, my love, and I'll show you. I will give you the. If my echo cancellation is not off, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh my God. So, like, this is like the fifth time yeah, it's a love song. It is a love song. It is a love song. It is a love song. Some people say my love cannot be true. Please believe me, my love, and I'll show you. I will give you those things you thought unreal. The sun, the moon, the stars, all bear my seal. Follow me now, and you will not regret leading the life before you met, before we met. You are the first to have this love of mine. Forever with me till the end of time. Your love for me has just got to be real. Before you know the way I'm going to feel, I'm going to feel, yeah. Now I have you with me under my power. Our love grows stronger now with every hour. My name is Lucifer, please take my hand. Forever and ever in this land. Look into my eyes, you'll see who I am. Look into my eyes, you'll see who I am. My name is Lucifer, please take my hand. Follow me now and you will not regret leaving the life you led before we met. Forever with me till the end of time. Your love for me has just got to be real. Yeah. Your love for me has just got to be real. Before you know the way I'm going to feel. Your love for me has just got to be real. Before you know the way I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel, JW. I'm going to feel, yeah. Now I agree with me under my power. Our love grows stronger now with every hour. Look into my eyes, you'll see I am. My name is Lucifer, please take my hand, yeah. Yeah, there you go. There's
Uh,
Black Sabbath done like it's a love song and stuff. You know, I guess everybody needs love on that. It's a little weird though. What are you doing, JW? JW got a new guitar. Got a new guitar. I have not bought a new guitar this year, so I am clean and sober on guitars now to month 3 of the year. Um, uh, what I kind of and I was working on my BC Rich Mockingbird um, the other day, yesterday, day before yesterday, and it has what we call a caler, and it's the tremolo system to the guitar, and you cannot buy the tremolo bar anywhere. Um, and I was looking all over for one, and I kept and the guy even was like, "Hey, look, these go in there," and I took my Kaler out, and it's like, "Oh, yours don't fit," and so I just could not. Even the parts places was no help. So just I took a metal bar, heated it up, bent it like I would want it, and then I threaded the end of it. Threaded the end of it. Yeah, you see, threaded the end of it. So that it was the same threads as the Kaler on the guitar, the tremolo system. And then the threads weren't just exactly right. So then I tapped and threaded the Kaler, which now this tremolo is the only bar that'll fit on it in the world, I think. Uh, and then I gave it a couple of shots of flat black paint and letting it dry for days till it gets hard. And but this trim bar was really hard to like. So since I couldn't buy one, I had to make one, and it wasn't that hard because I just took what we call, I think it's going to be a die, and ran it on the end of this bar, and made the threads on it to fit the Kaler. So that was like that. And if any, Justine, Justine, 16, Justine, 16. You know, that's kind of a creepy song by Kiss, you know, Christine 16. But I need my brother to come over and program my foot pedal because it lost a lot of its settings. That's why I don't have like some of my cool stuff. Max song, pancakes in half. Then get like some giraffe pancakes. But you know what was cool is I was on Wes's the other night, and I had bid. It's a little bit of grim story here, but this lady had bought a. They were having a state, not a state, is like an estate auction, and this lady had bought right before she passed away. She had bought a new washer and dryer, and I bid $100 on it, and that's like that's where I stopped, and it's like I'm losing it for $100. I was losing this, and they're 3 month old washer and dryer Amana, which I looked it up, and they run like right around $800 to $900 for the set, and but I was at $100 and I'd lost. I was losing it. Anyhow, I was on Wes's show, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but it happens to me all the time, especially when I'm streaming multiple streams and got like thousand, not thousand. Let's say I'll have 10 windows open on my PC, and I went to type to Wes, and when I typed, I thought it was going to come off over here on the comments. Well, it was over on the left monitor and bid up $1. It was like, okay, bid, and I wasn't even watching, so I didn't see what happened. Um, and it's like bid up $1. It went up to $101 from $100, and I wasn't paying attention. And I turned around and looked, and I won it for $101. So that was really groovy. And and our washer and dryer wasn't out, but the washing machine was on. We go through washing machines like some people go through underwear, and I hope my daughter's not watching right now, but or anybody that's guilty of this. But when you put like a blanket and two pairs of tennis shoes in a washing machine, you know, I mean, that thing would, I'd come in here and it was dancing more than me on, like disco night. It's like, why? Why? And it just, I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah, I thought it was really cool because I stopped at $100. And just because I went 101, I won it. I was like, yay. But then I had to go pick it up. Then I brought it home. Now it's sitting in my truck in the driveway. And they're since they're pretty modern. They're like new. The lady actually told me. The lady at the auction house said, "Hey, pole vault, dude, if you go to like Lowe's and tell them like, hey, like this was your mom's or something, they'll look it up and you could probably get a warranty on it." But and I'm not doing that. But that made me feel better because I'm like, wow, these things are really in good shape, you know. And washing machines and dryers, it's ovens have gotten really expensive too. Everything's gotten really expensive. Everything, everything, and you know, but I said I wasn't gonna buy any new guitars this year, but I think I deserve to get a new guitar if I get all my guitars fixed and get all the covers on them. TV dinners, nothing left to eat. But you know, you, you know, I I wonder what that Michael does. I wonder what that Michael songs does in the morning. I just get this I get this vision of, cuz I've seen Michael Song's backyard, from when I'm looking in the back window and stuff. And it's like beautiful out in his backyard. I bet he goes outside and it's just like do 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 do, and he's like, "Hello, I'm eating pancakes," and little birds land on his fingers, and he says, "Hello, bird," and he says, "Tweet, tweet, Michael." He's like, "Goodbye, bird. I'm gonna eat some pancakes." The bird's like, "Can I have some pancakes?" And Michael sounds like, "Get the fuck out of here." Oh no, Michael would never say that. No, Michael would never say that. He would say, "Sure, little birdie, you want some pancakes? You can have them." Povalt would probably say the other though. That would probably happen. I really want to. See, I knew it. I knew Michael would be nice to the bird. I went out. We went outside the other day, and I think I got it on my phone. Um, but you know what? You know what's weird? Everybody, um, sometimes it doesn't matter so much about the name of the guitar because this is an Antares. I think one of the first guitars I ever had that was a Flying V Antares. But they were only in business for 4 years, and they got sued out of existence by Fender and Gibson. And I found all this out while looking this up. You see that head and that neck? That's Fender. They got sued by Fender, and Fender took over the company because they couldn't pay them. But they also got sued by Gibson. You see, it's not very often you see a Gibson body with a Fender head. Anyways, they got sued just to oblivion. Well, that because of this, it made these guitars very rare, and it's hard for me to try to get a price on one because the last one sold for $500. When this was new, it sold for 300 back in '82. Uh, so because it is a lawsuit, Gibson, and the one that sold for $500 sold like 4 or 5 years ago on Reverb. I'm just telling you, guitars are a really good investment. I think over uh I think overall, you know, that uh but the thing is I'm old also cuz the BC Rich that I got it's going for there's one kind of like it. It's a STBC Rich. It's it's going for $2,200. I bought it in 2000 for $50. Um, but I will say it was like this guitar right here. This guitar when I bought it for $30 uh, in December, it had no pickups, no wiring. It was sitting in a garage. It had rain on it. It was just in horrible, horrible, horrible shape. Um, but so you can pick up these guitars. I love. I got a Fender. I got a Fender. It was missing a tuning key, and it was in a thrift shop. And they were like, I was like, "How much y'all getting on this?" They're like $20, and I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Dude, it won't work. It doesn't work. It's missing its stringy thing." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Well, I'm gonna have to live with that. And I came home, and Sunshine will tell you, within like 30 minutes of me coming through the front door, I already had a Fender tuner on the thing, stringing it up. Uh, but I'm not a big fan of the single coils. I do like Fender's guitars and like the necks, and I like the way they play. But once again, I'm not a big fan of the single coil guitars. Uh, but you're like, and I know you're thinking, well, uh, not everybody, not probably not anybody, but you're probably thinking, well, pole vault, not everyone knows how to do that. Uh, I know how to get a little complicated with the wiring and stuff, but on Amazon, they sell upgrade 500K pots, which is why this one sounds a little hotter than that Jackson. And everybody's going to throw rocks at me when I get through telling this story. But I bought the wiring. They call it a wiring harness. So all the wiring you need and all the knobs you need, everything is on Amazon, and you can usually pick that up for $10, which is what I did. I picked it up, 500K pots, which lets more of the sound come through. Wow, wow. I got that for $10, and the other part's gonna make me see. I got the pickups. I know it's gonna be hard to believe. but I got the pickups on Amazon, $10. Okay, I got the bridge, which is some fender upgrade bridge, $10. Okay, there's $30. And then I bought the damn knobs. The knobs you would think wouldn't cost that much, but they cost $10 too. So there's $30, and I had some strings, but let's say that's $6. $36 is my total of what I put into it, and a lot of elbow grease from shining off the years, and I also, you know, turned the neck, but the neck thing, the only complicated part of any of that was the neck. If you know how to solder a wire, if you don't have to solder it, Valerie Bott was laughing at me. Just want y'all to know, Valerie was laughing at my solder job. I guess it was pretty bad. Um, so I was soldering in the back, and uh, yeah, yeah. Well, the fender head and the Gibson body is really, and they just didn't make a lot of them, and so if you're kind of a collector like me and you collect 80s guitars, the lawsuit ones, yeah, Justine, Valerie's being mean. She's like, look at that solder job you're doing, pole vault. But the thing was, and this is the way my life goes. So I have a super badass soldering iron, super badass. It's propane. So you don't have a cord to have to deal with, and you click this button, it goes and you can solder really nice because you could get it hot as you want it or cold as you want it. But I could not find it, and I mean I had the shittiest soldering iron you could possibly known to man, and I soldered the pots on here, and it looks like solder eggs sitting on the end of the freaking thing. It's what we would almost call it. Wasn't, but it was close to being a cold weld. And you know, and with the and like I said with the motherboard stuff, I put a back on a base yesterday. So 3 days in a row, I have fixed three different of my guitars and stuff. I was watching Hubs last night, and someone was burning out in the parking lot, and I was just wondering. Um, I was sitting there, I was trying to figure this out. I'm like, wait a minute. Justine just now got a new car, and someone's doing donuts in the parking lot. Hmm. Justine Cashbrick just got a new car, and someone's doing donuts in the parking lot while Hubs is playing. I know it. I want to do donuts. I want to do donuts in the parking lot. I want to do donuts in the parking lot. Pokey, let me tell you what. That was the yeah, that's right. Laying a patch. Burning rubber. Laying some smoke. Freaking doing the drift. Freaking Huds be like, hey, would you stop it? I'm trying to play. Oh, hey, Justine. Light 'em up. Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I like I like donuts. I'm I'm getting better now though. I'm starting to not eat donuts in the morning. Um, I didn't eat a lot of donuts. I was going into this gas station. They make really good pizza, and I was gaining so much weight from going in there and eating pizza every morning because they get you. They're like, hey, you know what, pole vault? We don't care if you get two slices. Get two slices, buddy. You're coming in here in the morning and getting. And I'm like, okay. They're like, you know what? And I don't know. I think I'm like a bear at the zoo because like I find people love to feed me like an animal. They're like, there's pole vault. Let's get him. Let's get him a piece of. Give him a piece of cake. Look at him eating that cake. He's so happy. He's so happy. Look at him. I want to pet him, and I like them. They're like, wait, don't pet him while he's got the cake in his hand. Yeah, I've been working on some new songs. This song, um, this one right here, is totally made with this guitar. Yeah. But hey Joji, this we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. What? And you can see, it kind of gets a little crazy sometimes because I would listen to that myself and be like, um, so that's all that guitar, and and you can see there's one, two, three, four tracks here, and and this is it. And you would think you'd be like, you would think, wait a minute, pole vault, you're playing bass in that, and I could have played bass in it, but you see this bottom track here is is a setting on my pedal that it like makes your guitar sound like a bass, and it and all I'm doing is hitting two notes. So it sounds like sometimes when I'm playing this, it sounds like I'm doing something fancy, but if you listen to it and you're like, wow, that's four track. That's one, two, three, four tracks. So it's it's not really like that fancy when you think about, hey, wow, that's four tracks. Um, and yeah, this is really the only software I use, and I know I catch hell about it because I see a lot of people being able to do a lot of stuff. Um, Maybe I need to get some more digital software and stuff and make life a little easier on me. But I just I do a lot of post editing, as you can see, and I try to finish it off with some like. Ooh, I think I got a little dead spot there. Yeah, Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Justine. The TMI club. It's okay. We know you like donuts, but we're not telling anybody. You like donut. I it got icy this year, and I did. We have a big parking lot at work, and I did donuts. Didn't even hardly try. Oh man, I took my Allen wrench to work. That I need to raise that some. Anyways, and uh that was one song that I've been working on. Let's see what this was. I thought this one kind of had a 9 Inch Nail sound to it. Yeah, I still remember the taste of you today. Back in reminding of who I used to be. When I find all the home that I look up. Work out some lyrics for this. I fell in a hole today. I look up to the sky, and all I see is your face. I found myself today. It was a scary place. Yeah. I wanna run high. There's nothing left for me outside. One day we all die, but just for today, this is where I'll deep inside my mind. I close my eyes. There's where I will find you. The only time that I can see is with eyes closed. I'm running with my eyes closed. I'm running with my eyes closed. And that's the way Paul Walt makes songs. Okay. I sat down and and poke inside the miserable noggin that's and then and I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, but I think if you can tap into feelings and stuff that you've had in the past and stuff, and just think about that moment and just sing about it, now there's some weird things on the album. So you heard the one song and then you heard the other song. Now, if we go and listen to the end of the this song, okay, on the album, and I really put too much thought in this. This is the end of this song on the way it plays on the album. Okay, which would go right into this song. And this is just like a little short instrumental that's going to be in between the two songs. And that will end like this. That's the way it ends on the album. Then it goes straight into that. So, and I don't know anything about what I'm doing. You should listen to like professional people and stuff about how to do stuff. But I just think about, let's say I was somewhere and I accidentally smoked some grass, and I've been working hard all day, and I've had a hard day, and I just want to sit back. And you don't have to smoke grass, but you just want to sit back and chill, and you don't want to have to keep changing songs and stuff. And you put on this, you put on a pole vault album, and I want you to be able to just sit back and just it take you on a ride without having to like deal with stuff, because I remember there was albums like Pink Floyd, The Wall, that seemed to like go together and connect and stuff. There was Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, that seemed to have this flow to it. The album back, so I guess what I'm trying to say is back in like the 80s and 90s, not really that 90s that much. Like, well, maybe some of the 90s. But in the 80s, you used to have to pay a lot of money to get an album. And so, you would listen to the whole thing. You wanted every song to be a winner, or at least flow together and fit together like a puzzle. Now, and I'm not, to each their own, but now you'll have, something that's like, yeah, I like the way your dress flies. And then the next song goes, I had a dog and it's outside today. And the two songs in no way face anyone. And if you're lucky, you're going to find one hit song, maybe two hit songs on the album that you like. And you don't listen to the other songs because they really like suck. Um, I didn't say that, but they're just not as good as what the other two songs are. But the days of putting, together an album instead of just putting together, a bunch of songs. There's to and like I said, I was talking. We were talking with Lori's Mishmash the other day on Chris Lane's show Thursday, and she was talking about making new music, but she didn't want it to sound like other people. And we were just like, hey, you know what? We're influenced by so many people. So, uh, like I said, that one song came out sounding like Nine Inch Nails. I did not set out and say, I am going to try to make a song that sounds like Nine Inch Nails. I made a song that sounded good to me, a song that I would want to hear. And I do like Nine Inch Nails, so I like to listen to that. So it would only be natural that a song that I made that I liked would be in that genre of music and show some similarities because those are who my influences are. So you get out there and do disco stuff, and and I'm gonna tell you what, we got yeah, 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 yeah. You got it there, Michael. It doesn't. That's right. It doesn't. I like albums that flow too, and they don't have to like be a concept album like what I do. They can, but I like an album that where you took a little time to go. This track is one. This track is two. This track is three, and we're going to and you want it to be, you don't want it to clash, like you don't want to put your like green next to your purple, as where you would like go with like fade into it with like like a yellow green, or put yellow green blue, or yellow blue green, if you can understand that, where your songs are kind of like complementing the next one, where if someone listens to the song, the expectations of the next song can pick that up and build and take to another place. Um, and it doesn't have to be a concept album to do that. Yes, Chad is a fan of Clash and Contrast. We do know this. Um, uh, that's because Chad is evil, and that happens. And speaking of evil, Chad, I think I think I may be right. Chad may be on this week's weekend warm up because we're having band camp. Um, Band camp Friday, and they're not putting out a lot of band camp Fridays, I think, anymore. So Chad's going to be there, um, and we're going to just do Chad and pole vault stuff, talking about band camp and helping promote people, and uh, I love band camp Fridays, and I know people are like, yeah, pole vault. I know you like band camp Friday. It's not about me. Hey, everything's about me. No, 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 it's not about me. It's about the situation where uh, people should be getting, artists should be getting more money than they do. I'm just saying. And I do know one of the things, this is going to be a very, very vague story, but one of the things is, let me kill this right here. Very, very vague story, but there, get Mario Wrench over here. Um, uh, One time, this person I know said to a distributor, like a record company, uh, "Hey, you're taking all the money," and I'm just not going to go into it too far, but I'm like, "You're taking all the freaking money from the record sales." Wait, I'm trying to word this right. This person I knew was like, "Yeah, hey, you're taking all the money from the record sales," and said record company was like, "You know what, dude? Nobody would know who you are without us." Nobody. Where would you get your music played? Who's going to play your music? Where's it going to be? So yeah, we're taking all your money because we have, a million of you standing behind you. And it's not no, this person wasn't named Povok. But it's basically we have a million people standing behind this person to and we make people. Hey Dom, hey buddy, I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Uh, but the record companies are that I've talked to personally sometimes are of the thinking it's not about your music, it's about who we decide to push. And if we decide to push you, you'll make a lot you will get famous and make a pretty good bit of money, but at the same time, um you know, uh we're going to make most of the money. Uh, So yeah, yeah, it's always, that's why I like Bandcamp Fridays because like if you decide to buy something on always buy stuff from Bandcamp if you want to buy stuff from Bandcamp, and support the artists and stuff. But it's always cool to buy it on Bandcamp Friday. Well, right. Yeah, and I think that's one cool thing about being in the indie community. We can make what we want to hear, and if I want to make a metal album, I'll make a metal album. If I want to make an easy listening album, I'll make an easy listening album. If I want to put both on the same album, whatever I want to do, I can do. But unfortunately, I think, as in the case with, and I could be wrong about this, I think, like with Guns N' Roses, I think they were pretty much like, okay, you're under pressure to make another Appetite of Destruction, yeah, or something like that. We want you to make an album just like your last album. And I'm so flaky. Y'all know this. But I'm one of these dudes that always likes every band's first album, and then I'm the guy who said they sold out on the second album. Like I know a lot of people like Pyromania. Okay, Def Leppard Pyromania, probably arguably one of the most solid albums of all time or more. It's up there. Um, but when I heard Pyromania, I was like, what? This is not High and Dry. I liked High and Dry, and some Heaven and Hell. Let me be a little better up here. The less that you give, you're a taker. And it's all in all in all. It's heaven and hell. Queen. Queen 2 is one of my all time favorite albums. I like News of the World on Queen. Uh, I don't know, and I don't even think that was even close to being the first. Yeah, but what about Queen's Greatest Hits? I had that one. It had Take Me to the Room Where the Room's All Green, Take Me Out of My Mind, you know what I mean, or something. Dragon Attack was one of my favorite Queen songs. Dragon Attack. It seems a little cheesy now. It's always crazy. And here's one for you, Pokey. Uh, yeah. Well, the thing is, but Chad, the thing is a lot of first albums for bands. You're saying they're still trying to find their sound, but they're being out of the box and stuff. Uh, but I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite albums that just popped in my mind, and this is really crazy. But I used to listen to this album called Crocus Headhunter, and dude, I mean, Crocus just never got the props they should have had. Crocus was that album Headhunter was just fire, and I just no one, you know, uh, but the thing is no one's like Crocus. Who's Crocus? Headhunter. What album is Headhunter? But then you say, screaming in the night, I die for you. And they're like, oh, I know that song. Wow, that is a good song. Uh, yeah. And, and the people knew the songs off the album, but they didn't know the band and they didn't know the album. And that song, that album was just chunk full of like hits. I mean, even the title track, Headhunter, Headhunter, it was really cool. I, and I'd say, hey Brian, I would say one of my favorite albums, and this is just such a sellout thing to say, but Pink Floyd, The Wall was just like it was just like this to me was just like a work of art. It went beyond like music and stuff, and those guys really worked their asses off. But it was ooh, Chad, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Chad. Dress to Kill was not Kiss's best album. Oh my God, why do you do this to me? Oh God. Oh man, what? Oh, Chad. What? I think you just what? I just think you just like find triggering things to say to me. I mean, everyone knows that Love Gun was the best one. Love Gun. Love Gun. God, man. Pearl Jam's 10. Yeah. See, that was their first album, and I think it was way their best. Uh, even let's see. Son, she said, have I got a little story for you? Well, that's everything's wrong about that, and it's not getting better. The man you thought was your daddy was nothing but and right there's where that dead Fred is. Found you. Found you. Go back to it. Sorry you didn't meet him, but I'm glad we talked. Well, I'm still alive. Yeah, Pearl Jam 10 was right on. It was, but, like, High and Dry was so, yeah, Allison changed dirt, you know. Can you see the one that she? I'll be honest. I don't know all the songs from Dirt and Facelift because I listen to them so consecutively together. They just all mix together. Because I mean, I would say Alice in Chains, Facelift, and Dirt was something special. Chad, 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 did you? Chad just came in here to throw rocks at my glass house today. Uh, I'm gonna say the Beatles. The Beatles album, the White Album was pretty cool. The White Album was pretty cool. We'll say that the White Album was pretty cool. But I'm going to probably go with Beatles Abbey Road. That's me. That's me. And I remember hearing John Lennon explain the sound, and I don't think it. Uh, I I don't know, Justine. Super Unknown wasn't my favorite one of theirs. I was a Bad Motorfinger guy. Oh, you iron me awake and hit me with the hand of broken nails. And, you know, and I love that. Yeah, definitely. Uh, well, I really liked Come Together. Uh, yeah, Justine, I wore out probably two cassettes and probably have bought at least three CDs of Bad Motorfinger. I mean, I've got CDs of Bad Motorfinger laying around my in my studio and in my truck like trash. I mean, because I'll scratch them or something, but Bad Motorfinger. Uh, let's see. Uh, Aerosmith. Aerosmith would be Toys in the Attic. Toys in the Attic was my favorite Aerosmith. So there, I said it, and I'm not sorry. I said it, I'm not sorry, Shelley. Toys, 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 toys in the attic. That was their best one, and it just that was um Elton John. Mm, I think Troubled Water or Bridge Over. It's not Bridge Over Troubled Water. Man Across the something. Uh, but Beatles Abbey Road had it all, you know. But I think Beatles. Uh, what? Chat, chat, chat. Stop it. Um. Uh. Vulgar Display is probably their best. Well, yeah, Vulgar Display is probably their best album. I mean that kind of goes without saying. You had to bring that up because well, Cowboys from Hell was pretty. I don't know. Cowboys from Hell was right there. Um, the thing was is pre Cowboys from Hell because I was at the same bar as that Pantera played at. I mean, you know those albums with like Pussy Tied on them, Chad. I don't really think those count, dude. I always considered Cowboys from Hell to be Pantera's first real album. So there. I mean, because you know, uh, uh, they were pretty glam before that. The Cowboys from Hell is when they came out of their shell. Mm, was that the Bullocks one? Forget the Bullocks one, Chad. I think was that what was the Sex Pistols' first album? Was that the Forget the Bullocks one? I remember. I really got. I got to get my guitar pedal. When Slayer came out with the Indigada Devia, I was like, "Wow, who's this?" And I'm gonna admit, the first Slayer song I heard was their cover of Indigada Devia. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah. That would. Yeah, never mind. The Bullocks was that their first album? Because if that's right, then that would be Sex Pistols. You know. Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road. But you know, there's very few albums out there that I could just sit and listen to. Once again, like Justine was saying, that Soundgarden, "Bad Motorfinger," that's just a real pinnacle song. I mean, album, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and not a lot of people are going to agree on this, but Judas Priest, just to me, Judas Priest, they don't count. They don't count. Cause I can listen to every freaking Judas Priest, like Screaming for Vengeance, Point of Entry, Sad Wings of Destiny, you name it. They were just really putting out really groovy stuff, stained glass and stuff. Better by you, better than me. And the thing is back in the day they'd be like it was so weird. They would be like, "Oh my God, parents, do not let your children listen to this Judas Priest or this Ozzy album." And you know what all of us youngsters would do? Yes, heaven and hell. Oh my God. it was just really something, and I can't tell you how many times I party listened to that. Uh, and uh, and I don't really know the Zeppelins. Uh, the Zeppelin albums, they 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 were pretty good, but I'll admit that there back in the day there would be on my 8 track there'd be a song or two I'd skip. Oh, I'll tell you another good one. Boston. Boston's original album. I mean, wow. I used to listen to that what's that guy, Tom Schultz or something. Wow, that album was just stuck together great. Um, and I remember just thinking, you know, what the hell is this? Because when Boston first came out, it was it was just like the sound quality of everything was just so crazy good, and it was because he was ahead of his time. Because now I would say most of us are what we call, back then they used to say, oh, Boston is a studio band. They play in the studio, and oh my god, but they did take it to the stage. But that sound on that album was in the studio, and he mixed that thing like a genius. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is a nut, and he made all those pedals, and he was making the sounds himself. So it was getting kind of crazy. Uh, and also remember this, when Ozzy left Black Sabbath. I was like, wow, oh my God, my life is over. Ozzy left Sabbath. And then he put out this thing called Diary of a Madman. And I was like, what in the hell just happened to my ears? What is this ear candy? And Ozzy kind of reinvented himself. And Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. Oh, wow. I mean, just, my goodness. And, and David Bowie, Justine, I, uh, when David Bowie came out, I was in, and I think I've heard Dom talk about this. I've heard, a bunch of people talk about this. At that time, I was in my metal scene, and it wasn't cool to say you like David Bowie. Okay, but I had to secret listen to David Bowie. I had to be like, oh, no, I'm not listening to David Bowie in here. No, go away. I'm listening to Slayer. Yeah, no. Uh, and I think, yeah, 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 yeah. It was a weird feel on Never Say Die. Don't you never say die. Never, never, never say die again. I really didn't like Sabracadabra that much, or whatever that one was. Um, but I mean, Black Sabbath, all those, you know, the I used to listen to a lot of those, and and like I said, and then I had this bad feeling for Black Sabbath. I was like, oh no, Ozzy's gonna go make it. What is Tony Iommi gonna do now? He's lost his Ozzy, and then boom, kicked right in the nuts with Dio. I'm gonna tell you what, those two splitting up, Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and them going for each other's throat was beautiful for the music community. I'm just saying, because I mean, uh, wasn't a big fan of Mob Rules, but I like that song. That's not gonna work. Oh, it's not gonna work. It's the sign of the Southern Cross. I think that was one of my favorite songs off of that album. You know. Yeah. Your contribution's gonna notice, son. Association with an image. Yeah, I like that. That Helmet album was really good, Justine. Helmet, and to this day, Helmet is held up. You know those you got those bands also that a lot of a lot of musicians looked up to, but wasn't really readily accepted by the masses. And Helmet was one of those. Helmet, everybody talked about how great they were, and Tool was Maynard is just a genius. That's just all there is to that. I mean, he is a freaking genius. Um, uh, I had a conversation with my son one day, and God, it got heated, like almost like the time me and Sunshine had it out over a lottery ticket that we didn't win. Uh, but I was saying that Tool. I was like, hey, Povalt Jr., did you know that, like, I mean, like Tool, it's talking about like really heavy shit, man. It's really talking about heavy, heavy shit. And he's like, well, you need to listen to this music, Dad. It's really heavy. And it was, stuff like I'm rolling down the street and I pull my Glock out and go, bacow, bacow, bacow. He's like, do you understand how deep that is? And I'm like, Maynard's over here talking about the DNA of 46 and 2, dude. You know, it's a little heavier than, uh, wet ass pussy. It's just I seen Promise with Rush, and there's another good one. Rush. Um, I listened to Rush a lot when I was young. Man, with this tune of guitar, it's just nuts. Uh, I like that song, "Closer to the Heart" from Rush too. Midnight places. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I can't leave out the Scorpions. And I love the Scorpions and Judas Priest. Yeah, Ali, Ali Gratia. Uh, but what I really liked about the Scorpions at the time is, you could. you could really impress the chicks with, don't want to find out, just want to get out, yeah, blackout. It really sounds better with distortion. Believe me, believe me, believe me. And uh, you here I am, rock you like a hurricane. But and priest, uh, uh, yeah, 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 and here's a cool thing, um, which Dom just brought up. Scorpions was good if you wanted to meet women. And the thing about it was, and I hate to say this, yay, Jovel. eh, Sometimes songs can say what you want to say, but y- and I don't know. I hear that this they're calling the new generation Gen A, and so we had Gen Z, and now we have Gen A. Uh, and Sunshine, I got to give it to Sunshine when she hits one, but she's like, "What is it? The Forrest Gump generation?" And I was like, why are you saying the Forrest Gump generation? And she was like, it because it's like a box of chocolates, Gen A. And I was like, oh my God, Sunshine made a funny Gen A. But the thing was is believe it or not, very young Povalt was kind of a shy guy, and the thing was is the music would say what you really wanted to say, okay? Because like the Scorpions was saying, hey, like you're sexy, and I'm ready to go. And as I'm sitting there going, do you like what they're saying there? What Claus Minor? What he's saying right there? Hey, Jorge, we're over here doing junk and stuff. It's the Too Much Information Club where we're talking about stuff that it's a secret. It's a secret. Yeah, and the thing is uh, I previously to my metal days and stuff, I did listen to the Bee Gees a lot, and I still listen to the Bee Gees now. I think Robin Gibb is going to be one of the most unappreciated songwriters of our time. I mean, you got to realize this dude did like the soundtrack to Grease. He's done, the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. I mean, just do. And I just hated it when all my friends turned on the Bee Gees. Ah, brute. Everybody was like, you can't listen. There was a time in my young life, which now I don't think any kind of these social structures stand, but it would be like, oh my God, the Bee Gees are so cool today. Oh my God, are you still listening to the Bee Gees? What a nerd. And you're like, yeah, we liked them yesterday. I still like them, and nope, nope, nope. Now we're listening to like, we're listening to Kiss, which I wouldn't. I listen to Kiss a lot. Let's see, what was it? Well, she's a dancer, a romancer. She's a Capricorn and I'm a Cancer. She saw my picture on a picture of a music magazine. Yeah, there's some Kiss for you. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry. That's why we're here, Dom. Nobody knows. I do like some Steely Dan too. Uh, 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 I like that. You gotta take it back, Jack. Do it again. What is it? What is that one? What is that other one? What is that other one? Steely Dan had a whole. Jenny, don't lose my number. She's the only one you want. She'll be better when you get home. We can go driving on slow hand lane or something like that. Yeah, coming off of. I'll tell you what. Some of those Steely Dan songs were really wordy. I mean, you had to. I mean, they had some lyrics, a lot of lyrics in them. This is really weird. I had an album a long, long time ago called FM, and I think it was the soundtrack to a not a good movie, but it had Steely Dan on it, and it was like FM, no static at all. And I used to listen to the Nuge. I think I got it some more. Uh, yeah. Me and Pokey seen the same show. Pokey, I got that ticket hanging on my wall. Pokey, me and Pokey went to the same show, but we went to different shows in different states. But I went to the Bachman Turner Overdrive, and you know what? You know, Pokey, you know who was know who really blew out that show? You ready for this? Because I'd only say this on the Too Much Information Club. But Loverboy, that fucking Loverboy fucking came out there with Brad Gillis and blew some fucking doors. And we were shocked. Because, I mean, you got Van Hagar coming up. And we're all, to be truthful, we're all there to see Van Hagar. Okay? And it was the Texas Jam. And, Uh, I get flashbacks of stuff every now and then. We were sitting at, I don't even know how we did it, but somehow we got a bong, and a pretty good sized bong, into the Texas Jam, which had Loverboy, Van Halen, Bachman Turner Overdrive, and and this dude was sitting next to my old guitarist, and I won't name him because he's like a reputable member of society now, but which is really weird if you think about some of the guys. Uh, all right, Mr. Dom, take it easy, buddy. But you know when back, it's funny that some of the people that would that are like like representatives and like fine outstanding people you used to party with when you're young. Anyhow, this is one of those kind of people, and and he just took a big giant bong hit, and I mean just total giant rip. And this dude is sitting next to him, and sitting next to us, and I'm like, dude, you're at the Texas Jam. This is one of the biggest, wildest parties in all of Texas. And he turns to him and he's like, "Excuse me, sir. Could you please quit smoking that next to me? That's illegal." And this dude, I almost said his name. he had just took a big bong rip, and we were so out of it. He looked at him just blank face and went and blew one of the biggest hits I ever seen in his face, and he's like, "What?" And the guy was like, "I'm moving." I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I still think about it. I'm like, how in the hell did we get in concerts with like, whiskey bottles and bongs and stuff when they were searching us at the gate? I swear we didn't put them in our butt or anything, but they really thought. I'm gonna tell you, we were making jokes about it. Um, God, I keep almost saying this dude's name, but we were saying you guy, the bong hit guy. They must think you're hung like a horse, dude, because he had the bong down the front of his pants, and it looked like he was freaking John Holmes or something. And they're like, they even patted us down and shit, I would like I would actually get like two whiskey bottles that and like flask size and put them on my butt cheeks and stuff like where it was like part of my butt and put toilet paper around it. I mean, for us getting ready for the concert was almost like clowns getting ready for a circus. Uh, and oh 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 okay, so really, I always got to. Now remember, this is Too Much Information Club, and so I've got to give something that that we don't want people to know, and people are going to hate me for this, and I didn't do it. Okay, so we were going. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Pookie was actually in the chat one time and saw the guy who did this, and we were talking about this, and the stream got. We weren't talking about this. We were talking about other things, and the stream got taken down just basically on what we were saying, and it's so we're going to the State Fair of Texas, and I had this big muscled up roid dude that was like our buddy, and he was like, "Hey, can we stop at this gas station?" And I gotta get some stuff, and I'm like, sure, man, we'll pull over at the gas station, and this guy that was known as hanging out with me a lot, and he's related to me. Well, he goes into the gas station bathroom, and I just want y'all to know. This is bad, and I've learned my lesson, but we were trashed. We were freaking trashed. And for some reason, we had the giggles. And I used to live to hang out with my friends, and we wouldn't even, when you got that one friend and you just look at them and you just start laughing, and neither one of you know what you're laughing about. Well, the three of us were giggling and laughing and just cracking up about nothing and anything. So Scott, the muscle guy, we're calling that's Scott, and he goes into the He goes into the gas station. Well, he goes to get a Coke and stuff, and Jerry, y'all probably see him in the chat sometimes. He goes into the bathroom, to the gas station bathroom. Y'all are gonna hate him for this. Y'all are gonna hate him for this. But this is Too Much Information Club, and I need to let this out. So he comes back out, and he is laughing. He is laughing his ass off. And I'm like, dude, what did you do? And he's like, dude, I just went in. Okay, this is the bad part. Y'all brace yourself for this. He's like, I just went in and I pissed all over the sink. I pissed all over the mirror, and I pissed all over the toilet, and I pissed all over the toilet paper. And I'm like, why, dude? Why did you do that? And we're laughing, and it's a bad thing to do, but I was laughing because he pissed all over everything in the whole bathroom. The whole bathroom's just covered in piss. And so about that time, Scott comes out of the bathroom, and remember, this dude's just beefed up and roided out, and he comes out of the gas station and goes in the bathroom. And we're sitting outside, and I swear I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. I'm laughing so hard. And about that time, Scott comes out of the bathroom, kicks the bathroom door open, and he's got a hand full of soggy piss toilet paper, and he throws it down the parking lot. He's like, "What the fuck?" This dude looks like he's the Hulk. He's like, "Oh my god, I've got piss all over my body," and I just and 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 what he did is he sat on the toilet seat like an idiot, and he got piss all over his ass. Then he reached to get the toilet paper and got pissy toilet paper, all like a chunk of pissy toilet paper in his hand. He was like, "Oh my god!" And then he goes over to the sink to wash his hands, but there's piss all over the everything he's turning and everything he's touching. He's just getting more piss on him, and he comes out of the bathroom and he's just like, "Rah!" So yeah, and we were like, "Oh wow, oh my god, who would do such a thing? What an asshole!" And he's like, "Why are y'all laughing like that?" And I'm like, we're laughing, you know, that happened, you know." And he's like, "Did y'all guys do that?" "No." And I'm like, and because I'm still sitting in the same place in the same way, I'm like, "Dude, I hadn't even got out of the car." And he looks at me, he's like, "Yeah, well, some assholes." And to this day, Scott, if you're out there watching, dude, Jerry did that. So there's the too much information for today. Probably get this stream taken down. I don't really think that's you know, I think it's more like informative, you know. Like, hey, look at the seat before you sit down. Look at the toilet paper before you grab it. Well, and I don't think he could have like known about the sink. But if you can imagine, like, "Oh my god!" So we go to the state fair in Texas with this big roided out dude with piss all over his body, and I felt like kind of gross. I'm like, wow, you know, dude, be careful sitting in my car and stuff, cause like that's back when Pole Vault had some money, and I had a new Firebird, and he was sitting in the front seat, and I'm like, dude, you don't have piss all over your hands. "Oh, yes, I got piss all over my hands." And I don't even think wet naps have been made up yet. But he did go over to where uh, you wipe your windows and use the squeegee, and he got, what the hell is that? What the hell? Okay. Well, he went and got the towels from when you had the squeegee, and he wiped his hands with that. You know, we did a lot of crazy stuff. Uh, One time I'd been out drinking all night, and I was coming up to I had a really nice like bachelor pad thing going on, and I'd been drinking all night, and I came up to the my God, I came up to the bushes out in front of my patio, and I almost made it. And I have no friend today. I didn't do it, Pookie. I didn't do it. Uh, and and I puked in the bushes, and I didn't really think that much of it, but I'd been drinking so much, and God knows what else. Uh, and I didn't think about it. And as the weeks went by, where I puked down my bushes because I was trying to make it to my door of my apartment, I was just like, "Ah." All the bushes died in a perfect stream across where, I mean, they died. And I still think about that today. How did that happen? The bushes had a perfect yellow stream going through them where they died. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Uh, yeah, and and you know, like I said, I've learned my lesson now. And when I do go out and party, um, you people will tell you I have about 5 or 6 people with me to watch me, so I don't do anything crazy. But uh, we were out in a very bad neighborhood, me and my buddy, and we may have been there to purchase illicit materials or something. And I mean, we were in a neighborhood where you did not want to be. I mean, people were like people are like, hey, you don't know what a bad neighborhood here. People like will like shoot you for like uh and steal your just for your tennis shoes. Well, I'd tell them, hey, this neighborhood, people will shoot you. And they're like, okay, for what? I was like, no, that's the end of that story. People will just shoot you. Matter of fact, my car got shot there one time, and I didn't even know it. We were going down the road, and the car got shot, and I didn't know it until I got home and had a bullet hole in it. But we were there, and if you can imagine me and another guy that's pretty much just like me, like my twin, we were so ripped out of our fucking minds. I was filling up my gas tank, and I stuck the gas hose in, and Madonna Vogue came on my radio, and I mean everybody's looking at me like everybody's looking at the two of us like y'all are getting ready to die. Y'all died today. You're not where you're supposed to be. I turned up the radio all the way, and it was going, Vogue, you got to go with the music, and it was blasting out my car. And me and my buddy Kelly were like out while the gas was pumping, and we were dancing, and we were yelling at people going down the street going, Vogue! And people were like mean and mad, and they were like, ugh. And it was funny as hell. Maybe it was only happening in my mind and I was hallucinating, but people were like, we're going to kill you. Wait, you guys are funny as fuck. Where have y'all been? I thought it was going to break into one of those, like high school musicals, and everybody was going to start dancing in the gas station parking lot. Vogue, you got to move with the music. And that same guy, uh, in that same instance, I don't even know what we're thinking, and this may make no sense to anybody, but he got on the hood of the car, and we drove in circles around the gas station, and he was on the hood of the car going, I've been around the world and I can't find my baby. Don't know where and don't know why. I can't find my baby. And if you can imagine, we were the only two dudes in that whole neighborhood that were the color that we were. And these people were looking at us like they are out of their goddamn mind. We were out of our mind. We were out of our mind. But I mean, none of that makes any sense. I find it funny now, but I'm just, I'm so glad, Allie, they didn't have cameras back then. And like I said, Pookie was in the stream with when me and Jerry was talking about. We just now came from a gentleman's club, and we were going to another gentleman's club because we migrated with the drink specials, and I was like, "Hey, Jerry, pull over the car, dude. I gotta pee." And he was like, "No, dude, no, dude. We can't. There's nowhere to pull over right here." And I swear, I was wearing Z Cavaricci pants. If that'll take you about what year it was. I was like, "Dude, I've got to pee so bad." And I rolled down the window to the car and put my knees up on the handle that you put your arm on. And I was rolling down a pretty busy street in Dallas, a very busy street, and in the middle of the day. And I just started peeing out the side of the. I stuck my body through the window, and I was hanging out, and I pee. We all did. This is the Too Much Information Club. I wouldn't tell everybody I was wearing Z Cavaricci's, but yeah, it was that time. And I was peeing going down the road, and the bad part was we stopped at a red light. And when we stopped at the red light, and it was a different world back then. I wasn't thinking about I was exposing myself. I guess I probably should have thought about that. But this lady pulled up right next to me, and I thought, for for an instant, I had a moment of shame, and I was probably like, I think I was about 23 years old at the time, and I had this moment of shame. I'm like, oh my god, this woman is old enough to be my grandma for sure, and I got my junk totally hanging out, and I'm taking a leak out of a car window. And she turned, she looked at me, and for a second, she had this look like, "You son of a bitch." And then all of a sudden, she went. I was like, ah, and that's the thing when I just went through life at that time with this like party attitude, and just luckily for me, the world went with it. You know, people would be like, "Oh my god, what is this idiot doing?" Oh my god, is he peeing out the window? Rock on, dude! Wow. You go. And like I said, I thought the lady was going to be really mad at me and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, right on." I was like, "What? What's going on?" And then he burned out and almost threw me out of the car. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try to word this one a little different. We were going down the road, and we were in the country, and it's bored, and it was pre-internet, and and it was up in front of our high school, and I had this little can of paint, and I thought it was going to be cool to throw it at our school sign. Okay, that's bad. Okay, I'm better, and this was over 40 years ago, so statute of limitations. So I was going to throw this little paint can at the and there's like high school girls everywhere watching this shit. So guys don't do this much anymore, but back in like the 80s and 90s, we did this thing that we would call showing out. Okay. Somehow I thought all the girls would think it was cool that pole vault was hanging out the window of a car, and throwing paint at the school sign. Yeah, what a rebel. Anyhow, so I'm telling my cousin, "Get closer, get closer, get closer. I'm gonna miss it." And I'm hanging out the window, and homeboy takes me right into some tree branches as I'm hanging out the window, and it's just like whap. And I'm just like, oh. And the paint, I let go of the paint can. It goes down the side of his new car. It was all stupid. And instead of the girls all being like, "Woo, wow, what a daredevil that pole vault guy is," they're like, "Look at that idiot." I'm like, ow, 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 oh no. And I think the worst thing that ever happened to Little Pole Vault is I was like, there was like this girl I liked, and she was probably about, I guess she was about 15, and I guess I was about 12. And when you're like 12 and 15, that's two different worlds. But I'm like, because I've still got this stupid ass brain of a 12-year-old, I still have it. And I'm like, wow, if I could do something really cool, that 15, and I know, you're like, 12-year-olds don't think that way. Well, 12-year-old pole vault did think that way. I was like, if she sees me do something really cool, she's going to want to do it. And so I went and got some spring shoes. And these were some shoes that had springs on the bottom of them. And I'm like, when she sees me spring around this parking lot on these spring shoes, she is going to be like, "Oh my God, I want to be with this dude now." And I looked at her, and she was like, "Hey, Povalt, you little cutie, hey," that I would never ever get with in my whole life. They were like moon shoes, Allie, but they actually had real stupid springs on them. They were a metal platform, and then they had like three springs, and then they had a metal platform. There was no way that these ever worked, ever, ever, ever. They never worked. No one ever, ever walked on these son of a bitches. That just didn't happen. They couldn't possibly work, but not in this brain. And anyhow, she's like, hey, Povot. I'm like, yeah, I'm riding a little tall today. You see that? You see how I'm riding tall? And about that time, I walk out into the parking lot and I go, yeah, what's up? And I sprung about 2 times, and then I went going all over the place like Bambi. I look like Bambi when the first time you seen Bambi try to walk on like ice. I was like, ah, 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 before I just totally fell and busted shit ass. And I just remember looking up and seeing her look at me like, what that looked like this, like, like only a girl could look at you with and destroy your freaking whole, like, fucking, what is that? Machismo all in one look. She was like, I'm like, no, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Like the Phantom of the Opera. Don't look at me. I just fell on the moon boots in front of you. They weren't even moon boots. They were stupid spring boots. But there you go. I'm just going to have to go put the washer and dryer in. And, is that what you call it, Allie? Just know, women, just know out there, when you give the look of disdain, you have wrecked our ego. We're like, look at this. We're being really well. Like I said, I don't think dudes show out anymore. I don't even think people understand. There was a picture. Oh my God! I was carpet cleaning the house, and my bro were looking at iron crosses and Nazi history from his ancestor, and there was a picture had a cover by the stairs. We thought it was a Nazi salute. Oh God. Uh, yeah, you know, see, the thing is now is like nowadays, you can just go like, hey, you pick up your phone and be like, hey Siri, is this, and it's instant, not being an idiot. But I've done it's only a penny. We really couldn't imagine it was something like that. Yeah, I mean, you know, uh, we did some dumb shit. We did some we did some dumb shit. And some shit I just still can't really I had to think about some of the too much information stuff I've done and think about how to put it into a bubble. Uh, you know, because we were really stupid back in the day. Uh, I got about 30 minutes before I had to go hook up the washer and dryer. But one time, this is how elaborate we got. We had a friend that had some people sacrificing animals in his backyard, and his backyard was like 100 acres. This was oh God, he's gonna hate me if he hears me tell this story, but I'm not telling any names. So this bothered him, as it will do, and there was fires, and they were having rituals, and this was on his land when he was a kid. So this was really scarring him a little bit. Well, he wasn't a kid. We were all like about 18 years old, and God, I shouldn't even tell this story. But so we weren't old enough. My wife at the time was old enough to buy beer, but we weren't. We weren't old enough to buy beer. So my wife was the only one who could buy beer, and so I took her to get the beer. But now here's what would usually happen. But we all knew what the money situation was going to be. Everybody would get together and get their money together, and then we would go get the beer. Well, that day we went and got the beer early. So we had what was called dry town, so you had to go to another town to get your beer. So it took about an hour to go get beer. So we got all the beer before anybody did anything. Okay. Now everybody in the group except for this guy knew what was going on, which is I still sorry, man. And I don't even know what we were thinking, and this is a bad thing. Uh, so then my aunt sews us up these. My aunt was in on this, the one that buys me all the crazy stuff, and she sews us up some suits, like ritual suits and stuff. And there's an abandoned house in the country, and we went out the day before, and we with red spray paint and everything, and paint cans. We wrote like the devil's gonna get you and stuff like that all over the house. And it was dilapidated. The house was falling in on itself. It's not like we did this to somebody's house. The house in another couple of years would be leveled, but it was way out in the country. And so we told this one guy hey, lady Campion. We told this one guy we're going to get the beer. Well, instead of getting the beer, we all went and got dressed up and went out in the country on this White Rock Road and went into the house. Now, the couple of people that were still left with the guy was like, hey, why don't we go out in the country and go like racing down that White Rock Road, which we always did. And he's like, okay, cool. And when they came up to the house, we were in the house, and we came out, and we were like, "Rah!" And he lost his mind. He was like, oh my God. And the guy that was driving the car was like, oh no, the car can't start. And we started banging on the back of the trunk, and he was like, oh my God. And then they burn out. Okay, that was supposed to be the end of the whole thing. But that wasn't the end. We got stuck in the ditch, and the road that they were on was a dead-end road. And they had to turn around. We didn't have cell phones. So we really would love to said, hey, it was just a joke. We're stuck in the ditch. Get us out. But they come racing back by, round, and I'm like, wow, stop. But all he sees is the taillights from the car stuck in the ditch, shining on us standing in the road. So it's glowing red in the middle of the road because the taillights are shining on us. So you see three guys standing in the road, and they're wearing these crazy suits, and he's like, oh my God, like, because he thinks something like supernatural's happening now because we're lit up red in the middle of the freaking forest with wearing suits and stuff. Well, we finally got out of the ditch, and we go back to where he's at, and we get there, and he's like, oh my God, dude. And we show up with the beer, like, hey, we just got back with the beer, yo-to-do, don't know what's been going on. He's like, you won't believe this. Oh my God. You know those people that have been down by my house? They're in that house out in the country. They're out in that house in the country. Oh my God. And we're like, no way, dude. No way. Hey, let's go over to Sam's house. And we were going to go over to Sam's house. And we'll meet you over there. Oh, God. Oh, my God. And he's like, and they're like, okay, we'll go over there and party. All right. So we go to Sam's house. Well, while we're going, we put on all the costumes again. And they're setting out all out in the front. And actually the dude's dad, where we were at, put on one of the suits too. And he pulls up outside and he's like, yay, gonna party. And about that time, Sam's dad comes out on the porch and he's like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden our cars open up and we pop out and we're wearing all the suits. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, what's going on? And about that time, I'm like, this is too much. So I pull off the hood and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's us. It's us. That didn't click in his mind. And he reached down in his boot and pulled this big knife out and started chasing me around the yard. He was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. So, yeah. That was a long story about, and it took a long time for him to forgive us. You know, it really did. And we thought it was just going to be like we really did, because this guy always played practical jokes. We really did think the guy was going to go, you guys, wow, y'all did all this for me? Like, y'all did all this for a joke on me? You guys are the best. Instead, he was like, I hate y'all. I hate all of y'all. I'm never hanging out with y'all again. This is like a dude we grew up with. We're like, we're sorry. We're sorry. So, yeah, that happened. I hope y'all followed all that. It was like, if we'd have just had internet, see, if we'd have had the internet, all of us would have been staring at our phone going, did you see that? But no, because we had no internet, we got way too creative and did stupid shit. I got stories forever, but I might wait until next week. Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Uh, so we've learned that pole vault used to flash old ladies going down the street in a car. Justine does donuts in the parking lot in her new car. And let's see. We're gonna have to get some dirt on that Pookie. I bet you that Pookie's done some stuff. It is the suspense, Lady Campion. I don't even know what's going on. But I've got to go. I got to go hook up. And the thing is synopsis of what we learned. I don't know. Is the synopsis of what we learned is the internet a good thing or a bad thing? So the thing that I and like I said, I feel bad because like luckily I don't think there's like really young people in the chat, but I just thank goodness sometimes that hey Kristen, that I was old enough that I actually did some stupid stuff. You know. I bet you got some stories, Pookie. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. Same old feeling. I wish you were here. But, you know, uh, I'm gonna tell you, I bet you that Pookie has some crazy story. Pookie got some crazy story, and you know who's really probably got the really crazy stories is that lady Campion. It's always the quiet ones. Yeah, she'd be like, one time at spring break down at Cabo. When I was climbing a coconut tree and throwing coconuts at people. And we know Kristen KK over there. We don't even have to get that question. We know she was wild. Because she's still wild. Still wild. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teachers leave those kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. Yeah, I still don't have my socks on, and I'm wearing jogging pants today. That's gonna freak people out. And I think I need if you want to get some like really positive vibes in your life, I suggest a Coca-Cola Icy, um, and you get that Coke Icy, and it's on, it's on, it's on. Money, money, so they say, is that you of all you were today? Yeah. But I'm going to start. And here's the guitar I got together. Just think this is 1984, or 84 or 82, and it was sitting in the garage. And I think it had bird poop on it, had bugs in it. It was looked like it was almost rotted. It had no strings, had no guts, no wires, and it was totally trashed. And now it's playing Pink Floyd on the internet forever. And it just remember, it's never too late to play Pink Floyd on the internet. You might be sitting in the garage and I think it's all over and worn out and stuff. But remember, you can, and this is for sure. This guitar that was down for the count, old guitar, junky guitar, is made a song that's going to go on my album, and that's I think that's kind of like my story too. Right before I started making music again on YouTube, I was this guitar, and remember, y'all can get out there and make your macaroni art, and it's never too late to get out there and just freaking put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal. It's never too late to have fun. And I'm gonna go try to Dirk. I'm gonna go try to have some fun today, and I hope everybody out there is going to try to have some fun today. And that doesn't matter what you're doing. Yeah, yeah, Pookie, Pookie. You don't need to be rebuilt. You know why you don't need to be rebuilt? Because, hey, what are you rebuilding for? Just freaking go ahead and put the pedal to the metal and let it go. That's the deal. That's the deal. I mean, why would I be like trying to get better or rebuild myself? Because hell, what am I rebuilding myself for? I mean, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just gonna fucking put the gas. I'm gonna give it the gas and live. You know. So everybody out there, I hope y'all have a great day. I want y'all to laugh and have a good time and try to have some fun today. And remember, don't tell anybody about what we talked about here. People aren't supposed to come in here because we're telling too much information and people aren't supposed to know this because people are all judging and shit. And we're silly. And remember the first rule of TMI Club. Uh, oh yeah, don't talk about TMI Club. It's a secret. Y'all have a beautiful day. I love y'all all. Yay!